flyfishingwithjeff.com, and I am here on my little lake here in northwestern Wisconsin. Our property is about 300 yards past the shoreline right over there, and going to do a little float tube fishing this morning, and I'm going to share some things with you as we do. So I'd show you a few things right up front. I've got an articulated topwater popper from this is from the Flymen. It's a howitzer articulated baitfish popper, white and 2/0. And the Flymen are the guys in South Carolina that do an amazing job tying various flies, and I'm going to give this a go this morning. Okay, articulated in the back, hook right there, 2/0. Will look like a bait fish on top, and there are schools of bait fish out here moving around right now. So start by putting this on my tippet here, and one of the things I like to do is tie a open loop non-slip mono knot. Okay, I'm sure you have different versions of this knot. Provided my old eyes work well this morning, we'll get this tied up here pretty quickly. Won't bore you with a lot of this, but I'll show you why here in just a second. I like to have, and this is 20-pound tippet, so I only need to go around 3 times here. Come back through the top of my loop, give it a pull, and there you have your knot non-slip with movement. We'll cut the tag end off here, and again, I like it to be able to lay on the water and move and not follow the tippet or the fly line. So that's one reason that we're going to do that. Now I've just got a simple, my 7-weight rod here with a floating line, but this is my 10-foot 7-weight rod. And you say, well, why such a long rod? Well, it helps a lot when it comes to making the long cast from a float tube, and sometimes you have to reach out and get the fly back in an area where the fish are without actually getting in there, especially with this lake here, because there's a lot of lily pads and things of that nature. So the second thing we're going to do is we're going to set up another rod here, and this is my 7-weight as well, but it's got sink tip line on it. Okay, still has the 20-pound tippet. So we're going to take off this other fly here, set it aside real quick, and we're going to put on a piece of Scientific Angler's bite tippet, 40-pound, to this yellow, red, green bucktail, reverse tied bucktail fly that I tie, which has been working well. So we're going to do that by tying a perfection loop, and then we're just going to simply go loop to loop on this guy. Hopefully my loop there is big enough to get the fly through. I think it will be. So by pulling this through, we have went loop to loop, if you can see that here, and when I'm done, if I choose to, I can put more tippet on, tie another fly on, anything that I'd like to do. But now I've got this bite tippet on, and you say, well, why bite tippet? Because there are pike out here in this lake, and actually some big pike out here in this lake. So while I'm fishing for the bass, got to protect the fly from the pike. So there we go. We've got our 2 rods set up and ready to go. Got my float tube, my kick fins, and we're going to get ready to head out on the lake and see how it goes this morning. It's a nice, still, calm morning. And for northwestern Wisconsin, it's still fairly warm this morning. It's 60 degrees, so we're going to give it a go. So come along with me and we'll see what we find once we get out on the water. So there's our first bass of the morning. And that gives me a little chance to talk to you about topwater stuff here. Well, it's not a bad fish at all. But one of the things I see is chunky fish is people are too impatient. Way too impatient. Yeah, there we go. So you can see he's got the fly kind of right in the bottom lower lip, right there. And let's get him undone here. There you go. Let's just quickly see what that one would be. Oh, that's a 16-inch fish. Nice. We'll let him go back. But when you make the cast, folks, and I'm sure you've heard this before, but it's tougher to do. See those lily pads there? We're going to make a cast right there. Now watch the rings as they dissipate away from the fly. Don't get in too big a hurry, especially with smallmouth. Now we got largemouth here this morning, but especially with smallmouth, let that ring dissipate. Now there's 2 ways that I like to make the pop. Show you my hands here. I like to make it with the rod. And that gives it that big gulp sound. Gulp. You can hear that. Gulp. And then I like to do it by just stripping. Okay? Strip, 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 strip. Oh, and there's one right there. So, and you can give it a lot of different kinds of action by doing that. Well, he's not quite as big as the first one, but we'll take them all. So again, I've got my 7-weight floating line. I'm going to make a cast way back into those weeds, into this shallow area. Let it set. Now that doesn't mean I'm not ready to set the hook, which you have to be. And then I'm just going to use a stripping motion. Strip, strip, strip. And I'm going to walk that fly right in by these lily pads here, giving time for the fish to hear and to find the popper. Strip, nice gloop sound. Let it set. Now occasionally I'll speed it up right around the lily pad like it's a bait fish and it knows it's in trouble, and then let it sit. So that's kind of what you're after. And I'm sure you've done some of this, but right there's one feeding on top somewhere, so this could be the right morning to be. And don't give up even right here too late. Okay, now when I get ready to cast again, I really want to get a big haul, pick that fly up off the water. Don't let it stay in there and retrieve it through all the water. It will set up for a bad back cast. Okay, so it's there, I'm watching it, the rings are dissipating, loop, and that's what I'm going to do. And there's probably just nothing as visual as watching a popper on a beautiful morning like this on a fly rod. There we go. Oh heavens, that's gonna be a hard one to get out with all these lily pads. Come on. All right. Very nice. Okay, so he's not a king, but that was fun. Very visual. Listening to, I call it my loon, because I listen to it every morning over my campfire up here, and he usually flies right over the top of our property here in about another hour on his way out to one of the pothole lakes. Come on, get through all this. Here we go. All right. Stuff, and one of the things you can look for, it takes a little bit of experience, is nervous water or a bubble of the water. And when I say that, I mean that fly is sitting there. Smallmouth do this a lot. So they'll come up and they'll stage right underneath it and they'll swim, and what happens is they push the water up, and if you watch the fly, right behind the fly, a little bit of bubble will raise up. And they'll wait, and they'll follow that fish or that bait, wait, and then they'll open their gills up, suck that fly in, and that's what happened just then. It helps a lot to be able to see that on rivers with smallmouth, is to see them bubble, push up a little water. goodness. There we go. Come here. Come here. There's a better one. Come on. There we go. All right. Come on in here, buddy. So there you go. We can see there that he liked that yellow fly. Let's get him undone here. Nice. Let's see what you are. 16. Take those all day long, folks. That's beautiful. Okay. Come on. There we go. There we go. Come on in here. All right. Very nice. Come here. Come here. All right, I think that's the best fish of the day. Yeah, look at that. Oh, look at that beauty. Beauty, beauty, beauty. Right in the corner. Pop him off. Geese feeding right over there beside me here this morning. That one is pushing 19 inches. So I'm just real curious. I'm going to see what this guy weighs real quick, just from a curiosity standpoint. This isn't my real accurate scale, but I think it'll give us an idea anyway. And that one is 1, 2, 3.5 pounds. Nope, there you go. I don't blame you. 3.5 pounds. So that's not bad. 18.5, 19 incher. So again, what a neat way to be able to get out and get around and move around quickly, efficiently, quietly in these areas like this. So if you haven't ever done some float tube fishing, give it a good consideration. Plus it's excellent for your health. Not much kick finning today, but on a day when there's wind, boy, you can really work it up. Oh, there we go. That was a good take. Wow, that one hit hard. Come here, buddy. I like it. So anyway, folks, there you go. This is this is really the beauty of float tubing and fly fishing. And let's see, I've been here maybe 90 minutes now, caught about a dozen, and you know, again, I'm 3 or 4 minutes away, so that's the beauty of this. But you could do it in any of your little locales if you have farm ponds or something of that nature, and or even like up here, we have quite a few lakes that there really isn't access. You have public access, but there is no boat ramp, nothing of that nature. You kind of have to backpack it in. So you put backpack straps on the float tube, and it's easy to navigate. You can even take it on a plane if you needed to go somewhere with it, and boy, just makes for a really nice way to fish a lot of these smaller, more intimate waters. So give it a look. There's a bunch of them out there. Outcast has a really nice setup now with oars on it, so that you can actually pick up and get somewhere fast if you need to, or if the wind comes up, you can, you know, get yourself in. That being said, there's all kinds of float tubes, nice safe float tubes. And if you need any information, need any help, or if you'd like to come up here, fish some of these amazing lakes for smallmouth, largemouth, even muskie, lots of pike, give me a buzz again at flyfishingwithjeff@gmail.com, and we can make that happen. So anyway, I'm going to work my way through a few more of the lily pads, hopefully catch a couple more fish, go back and maybe have a pancake or two around the fire here in just a minute. So I've enjoyed sharing the day with you. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you do, hit that like button for me. Make a comment down below. I'll respond to it when I can, if I can. And you know what? I hope I see you again out here on the waters with flyfishingwithjeff.com. Oh, well, I was falling asleep right there. Isn't that crazy? Had one take right there. That's the way it goes. Love it, love it, love it. Well, what do we have here? Trolling back to the boat. Oh, it's a bass. That's fun. Trolling back to the truck, and there you go. Well, that's an extra bonus fish here, folks. All right, buddy, go grow up.